Hello, welcome. Let me pull up in the chat here so I can see it. Yeah, good morning. Hope it's okay I call you Pig. Unless you prefer something else, TCP. Maybe not that one. Okay, cool, thank you. I totally understand how the usernames work. I've had Twitch usernames my whole life, things like that. So I'm gonna shorten them for everybody. Oh, I know what's going on, I think. Here, let me fix this. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Just adjusting my screen a little bit here. Let's see. Good morning, Uchu. Good morning, G-Man. Top Wolf, good morning. Good morning, CS202 student. Good morning, Oyman. Just gonna call you Male. Good morning, Male. Good morning, Fuzzy. Welcome, welcome. You guys can hear me okay, right? Connection should be good. My voice should be pretty clear. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. Awesome, thank you. I do have a nice microphone here, and I put some foam behind it, so hopefully the quality is good. Yeah, so the chat will pop up here on the screen. Yeah, I'll kind of talk about all this stuff here in just a moment. It's a hydro flask. Is that what you're asking? Was that your question? Though I'm not sure. Oh, my microphone. My microphone is an Audio Technica condenser microphone. My father is a flamenco guitarist. And so I was lucky enough to be blessed with one of his old microphones. So my microphone, it's an expensive one. My microphone kind of looks like this. Not that it matters, but if you were curious, looks kind of like that. All right, so it is 11:30. All right, there's about 24 people here in the stream that I can see. If I go look at the number of people in this class, that should be pretty close. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. There's a few things we need to talk about today. It is the first day of class. So I will go over the syllabus just briefly. I'm not going to take a whole lot of time to do it, just the important stuff, because I'm sure you guys do syllabuses all the time. I'll tell you about myself. We'll talk about what you need to know, what you'll need for this class, and then we'll get started with our CS135 review. All right. So with the chats here, right? So you can't really interrupt me at any point in time. You can just throw whatever in the chat. When my head is turned the way it's looking now, that I'm not looking at the camera, that's me looking at the chat. All right, so I've got two monitors here, and I have the chat here on the right side. When I'm looking this way, I'm looking at the code. I'm looking here. I'll always glance over at the chat. You can see me reading stuff, and I'll always answer your questions. So, to get started, I'll just tell you a little bit who I am. Who am I? My name is James Petrowski. I would prefer you call me probably Mr. P. You don't have to type this last name out every time. I'm a graduate student here at UNLV. So you do not have to call me doctor or professor. I'll be okay with professor if you want, though I feel a little bit like a fraud, all right? So I'm just a graduate student here. I've taught this class 3 times before. I've taught 4 classes in total. CS202, I've taught it 3 times. I believe I get pretty good reviews, all right? So hopefully you'll enjoy this class as much as I do. And that's pretty much it. Last little thing, I know this is not very important, but I love cats. And I do have one. She'll probably pop up on stream every now and then, and I can't help it but show her off. So please forgive me. Now, moving on from that, I'm going to tell you a little bit how I teach this class. Virtually, of course. All right, so this setup's probably a little bit different than from what you've experienced before. You're probably using WebEx in some cases. Zoom, I guess. There's a lot of different things you've probably experienced. Now, a lot of the CS202 instructors here, especially the younger ones, will stream on Twitch. Now, I like this the best because you can just go to a URL, and it's easy for me to download the VODs. Most students don't like to use webcams. A lot of students don't like to use microphones in class. I know a lot of you are silent a lot of the time. So I think Twitch is nice because all you can do is use the chat, and there's nothing else. Like I said, it's pretty easy to get to. Now, I'll take all notes, so you don't need a book. No book for this class. All notes are by me, and they are uploaded to Web Campus. So all notes and code are typed in class, all right? So I'm never gonna make you read something before class. I'm gonna do it all in front of you from scratch, pretty much. And these are uploaded to Web Campus every day. At least every day that we have class. All right, so you don't have to take notes if you don't want to. I know many of you might do that. All right. Yeah, I really prefer the Twitch. It makes it easy for everybody, especially because the VODs are also saved on Twitch. So even if I don't get the chance to upload it to YouTube, you can always come back to my channel and just watch that VOD. It'll be available for 14 days. And sometime in those 14 days, I'll get it up on YouTube. I usually do it in the same day. All right, so it won't, you don't really have to worry about that, but Twitch is really nice. Now, I do take notes in Notepad. All right, pros of that, readable, right? Pros of me doing Notepad is whatever I type is readable. Cons is I can't color code things. So you're just gonna have to deal with that. All right. I try to make them pretty like this. All right, but I do take notes in Notepad. G-Man asks, we will be able to see the videos after class. Absolutely. I'll show you that right now. So you can come to Twitch. Let me see here. So I am streaming right now, but say you come here to Twitch, you can see there's this video section. So the VODs will be saved. Right now there's no VODs because the last time I streamed was a month ago or so. And once that is there, I will download that VOD. And let's see here. I did include my link for my YouTube channel, but I always like to search just James Petrowski CS202. And you'll see I've got a YouTube channel here. And if you click on this and go to playlists, you're going to have a playlist for fall 2021. All right, so here's some playlists from the previous classes I've taught. You can always go back and watch those if you want, but probably best to stay up with the class. So we'll have a playlist here for fall 2021. You'll always be able to go see what we did in class that day. So if you have to go to the doctor's or you can't be in class that day for some reason, you'll still be able to come back and watch. Now, of course, I would like to motivate you to come to class every day because it makes my day better. When you're in the chat talking to me, it makes things more interesting. You get to ask questions. But of course, like I said, if you have to miss, it's not the end of the world. All right. So I take notes in Notepad, and I code examples in class. I try to base them around the assignments. All right. So you'll be able to kind of reference that class code. I'm going to upload it every day, so I'll even show you that. So if you come to our Web Campus page here, you'll see I've already got things going. This is our Files section, so if you click on that Files tab, it'll pull you here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to click on things. And then I have all these folders. Now this Web Campus Files folder, it's not for you. It's just for that logo photo. But here's the syllabus, and we'll go over that today. This class code folder, today I will make a folder for today. I do my dates in database format, so don't be mad at me. But that folder will be here, and then in here I'll put the notes and whatever code we type today. And if we do any whiteboards, I call them whiteboards. Really, I just open up Microsoft Paint and make some pretty pictures to kind of explain to you what's going on. All that stuff will go in here. Now, we'll get to the assignments. Don't be too sad yet, all right? There is an assignment up already, but I'll get to that later today. We'll discuss due date, what it does, all that stuff. But there's already an assignment in there, so you can always come here and find that stuff. And then we do test reviews, all right? So I'll go ahead and upload those here as well. So that's the Files tab. And that's pretty much how I teach. Are there any questions or concerns about that before we move on? This is how this class will go every day here at, not every day, but every other day. Every Tuesday, Thursday here at Twitch. That's how I'll be teaching. So just let me know if you have any questions about that. And we'll move on here to the next part. So our next thing to talk about are the things that you're going to need for class. All right. Now this is very simple, kind of, it's just coding stuff pretty much. So I'm going to tell you about the things you need to know for class. So the first thing you need is an editor, a code editor. Now I use VS Code, all right? Most of you should be familiar with VS Code at this point in time. Hopefully you'll notice I have it open here. All right, this is just an editor. This is just an editor. I use it to make a file. So I go here, I can file, I can make a new file, I can save it as, say, whatever we're going to do in class today. So I'll call it cs135r.cpp. And then in here we can start typing our code. Now VS Code is really nice because it makes all these pretty colors. Look at that. Everything is colored nicely so we know which things are what, which things are types, which things are variable names, which things are literals, all that stuff, all right? So I use VS Code. I would recommend you do the same. but you can use anything else if you'd want. Notepad included, Emacs, Notepad++. So I'll kind of give you those to start. I would not recommend using Notepad, but you can. Emacs is a thing. If you're on Mac, you can use VS Code, but you might use, I don't know what it's called. Whenever you try to open a C++ file on your Mac, it tries to open up some program. I don't remember what it is, but so you need a code editor. The next thing you need is an SSH program. SSH program. Now, I would like to ask you guys a question. Have you guys connected to the UNLV servers before? So we'll just start with that. Have you connected to the UNLV servers before? Or, so some of you, yes. Okay, I like to see all those. I think some teachers may have been using something like code blocks or something. We don't do anything like that in this class, all right? So you'll need to know how to connect to the servers. Now, did you guys use VS Code, or what else did you use? Because if you used VS Code, we're going to have to talk just a little bit about that. But I'm hoping... All right, you guys use VS Code? Okay. Cool. So... I have some bad news for you and some good news for some of you. I see Chef in there. It says Emacs and a virtual machine. That's great. Yeah, you can totally use a virtual machine if you want. But the thing about VS Code, all right? The thing about VS Code is I'm going to be a little picky about this. Now, the computer science department has some IT guys, all right? So I'm sure you know by now, information technology and IT are different, all right? And the IT squad is in charge of our servers. So we've got quite a few servers. They're in charge of them. And we as students can break them, all right? So let's kind of type this out for now. We can break them. Meaning we can overload them, we can request memory, we can crash the servers. Not like you'll be able to, but we potentially could do it. So there's something wrong with VS Code that I'm just going to let you know in just a moment. So the first thing I'm going to do is take you to tux.cs.unlv.edu. So if you ever need to go to the computer science website, that's Tux. I'm sure you've seen it before. So we've got this nice website here. I'll make it huge. And there's a whole bunch of stuff here that can help you out. So if you have never connected to the servers before, or you're having problems, you can click here. Here are the server names that you can connect to. There's some lab information here. There's no labs for this class, so you don't have to worry about that. Here's some resources and all that stuff. Now, I have been told by the IT squad that VS Code is bad. All right. Now, I don't know if it's been corrected, but what happens, or what was happening, was that students would VS Code connect to the servers and start the debugger, I guess. And what happens is that spins up a lot of processes on the servers. And pretty soon, when you have hundreds of students all running VS Code debugger on the servers, many students can't connect. Now, I don't know if that's been corrected, but I just want to let you know that that is that might be a problem for you. And if you're having problems connecting, I would highly recommend not using VS Code. My personal choice is MOBA, and that's what I'll always do in class. So I'll show you where you can get that. That's for our Windows users. Now, if you're on a Mac, you're going to need to SSH via the terminal. And you'll need something like FileZilla to transfer files. All right. So I'm just going to restate this. From what I've heard, VS Code is bad. Now, I personally cannot stop you from doing it. All right. But you may receive an email from the IT guy telling you to stop. I'm not sure if he will or not, but just be aware of that. So if you don't want to run into that problem, you can use MOBA Xterm on Windows, or if you're a Mac user, you can SSH via the terminal and download FileZilla to transfer your files. Now, I can help you with all of this. I have a Mac and a Windows machine, so just let me know, and I'll help you get started with that. Now, back to the UNLV servers. There's the website. Now let's talk about our servers. There's two servers that we'll mainly use in this class. We like to go to bobby.cs.unlv.edu. We also like to go to sally.cs.unlv.edu. All right, all of your programs should be tested on these servers. All right, and so if you have your own development, you can do it on your own computer, but then make sure to upload it to Bobby or Sally and kind of test there. We'll be learning about memory this semester, so these servers have a tool called Valgrind, which will help you. All right, so we'll get into that later, but Bobby and Sally have tools for you that can help. Now, there's some backup servers you can use in case too many students are using VS Code or something. So this is a last resort thing, all right? This is a last resort thing, but I will let you know that there is a Cardiac. Now this is for the operating system students. There's a Java. This is for our compiler students. All right, so those two servers are backups. So let's say one day Bobby and Sally are having a bad time and you're cramming the assignment, which I'm sure many of you might. You can go ahead and try Cardiac and Java. They kind of have the exact same tools that Bobby and Sally do. But these servers are designed for us fresh students, our CS135s and our CS202s. All right, now I'll talk about connecting to those in a moment. Let me just check my notes, and remember, you can always stop me if you need to talk about something, to ask a question. All right. So let me just kind of walk you through a few things here. If you are going to be using MOBA Xterm, all you have to do is come to Tux. Come on down to this useful links or useful software, and you can see MOBA X is here. You can see FileZilla is also there. And if you're a virtual machine person, you can use that as well. Now, Visual Studio is also something I recommend. So let me just kind of mention this. Over the summer, we did have a problem. The UNLV had a power outage, and all the servers went down for like 4 days. And so you always should have a backup option to code. All right, so if you can't connect to the servers, you need a backup option. So a virtual machine is one way to do this, and Visual Studio is another way to do this. Lucky for you, I'm here to help you with that kind of stuff, but also I have some tutorials on YouTube. All right, they're not the best tutorials, but they will help you install these things. So let me see here. All right, so you can see this. Here's a 12-minute video of me telling you how to use Visual Studio. And here's a 30-minute video of me telling you how to do a virtual machine. Now, this video is only long because I waited for the installation. All right, it will not take 30 minutes of straight talking. But if you want to get some of these backup tools installed, you can reference my YouTube page here to help you with those things. Of course, if the servers do go down in class, I will have to use a backup option, so you'll probably see me use it maybe once or twice this semester. All right. So just for most of you, I'm sure have Windows. So if you go to the MOBA Xterm page, go ahead and get the Home Edition free, and go ahead and get the Installer Edition. You can just save it and install it, and there you go. So now I'm going to connect to a server, and I'm just going to remind you how we compile things and all that stuff. So what I like to do is I open up MOBA here. Now, a lot of this is kind of tiny. I can't really make it bigger, so just listen to me here as I talk about it. On this side are all of my saved sessions. Now, I'm going to delete them so I can prove to you that I can connect without them. But the first time you connect, MOBA will save your credentials or your password and stuff. So all you have to do is click on them and it will connect you right to where you were. But all you have to do is go up to Sessions, click on SSH. Once again, I apologize, it's very tiny. And then it's going to ask you for 3 things. The first thing you need to do is type in the server name. Lucky for you, I have it right here, so I'll just copy paste it in there. That's Bobby. I have to specify my username. Your username is your UNLV email ID. I don't know what to call it. But for me, that's PIOTRJ1. And then the port is 22. So you go ahead and click OK. You just give it one moment here. This I can zoom in. All right, so you'll see me do most of my coding here on MOBA. And we're just going to give it 1 second here while Bobby contemplates life, and you'll see that hopefully very soon that we will connect. While we're waiting for that, let's talk about, oh, here we go. Whoops. There's Bobby. What do you know? Maybe a little too big for me. So there you go. That's Bobby. And there we are. Now, what's so awesome about MOBA is, look, I have access to all of my files here on the left-hand side. So I always like to use a folder for this class. And we'll talk about that just real quick. Now, I'll be doing this every day in front of you. So if you don't remember it today, you'll see me do it probably 1,000,000 times over. So don't be scared. All right, so let's talk about some Linux commands that we should probably know. One is CD. What does CD stand for? Can anyone tell me? Which other ones are we gonna go over here? Change directory, right? Yeah, CD is change directory. All right, so that's going to make us change folders. Now, if you just type CD, you have to type some location here. Change directory to some location, right? Now, if you just type it as is, this will take you back to the home folder. So we can go ahead and test that just real quick so you know. Here I am. Clear is my favorite Linux command. Guess we'll include that. What does that do? That clears our screen. And then so I'll say like cd test, change directory to my test folder, and here I am. Now if I want to go back to the regular directory, I'll just type cd. All right. So those are those. Those are those. There's just a few more that you might want to know. Make dir. What does that do? And then ls. This one I'll give to you. Make directory, right? This makes a folder. All right. So those are pretty much all the stuff that you need to know for Linux. One more thing here. What's this one? Can anyone tell me? You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for talking to me today. You're all on point. What does this one do? This one takes probably a file and then a location, right? I'm pretty sure. I guess we'll test this because I myself am not the most best Linux man. But let's say, all right, so let's do a test here. So I'm going to clear this. I'm going to change my directory to the test folder. If I type ls, I can see all of the stuff that's in this folder. Now, the coolest thing about MOBA Xterm is I can come over here on the left-hand side and find my test folder. I can even find files from my actual file system and drag them over here to upload them. So if I make a new directory test2 and I type ls, you can see that it's there. And let's say I wanted to try to move a file into test2. Now I'm going to see if I know what I'm talking about here, but I might not. So let's say I wanted to take that input file and I wanted to move it into that test2 folder. I might type something like that. Now you'll see that this input file has disappeared. And if I change my directory to test2 and type ls, you see that I've moved that file into that folder. All right. So that moves a file. Make dir some name. All right. So any questions about that? Let me know. That's basically our Linux review. All right. Now we're going to do some compiling. Now this is I'm kind of old school here. Mail asks, are we going to be using CodeGrade? The answer is yes. Just give me 1 second here. I'm almost done with this bit, and then we'll get into the syllabus. I know I might be doing these things kind of out of order, but the syllabus is coming up next, and I'll talk about grading, CodeGrade, all that stuff. So the last thing I just want you to know to get started is compiling. We always use this here, -std equals C++ 11 file name .cpp. All right, so that's how we compile. Now this bit you might not be familiar with. This specifies the C++ version we're using. As I said, we're kind of old school here. We're going to be using C++ 11. All right. And if you have a problem with that, please don't complain to me. But it's okay, because C++ 11 is very new. There's only a few extra added features in the later versions. And in my opinion, they're a little bit too advanced for this class anyway. All right. So that's all that stuff. Now let's go ahead and open up the syllabus and talk about some of that stuff. All right. Once again, thank you guys for talking to me. You make my day when you do that. All right, here we are. Okay. So, this is CS202, obviously, section 1006. Tuesday, Thursday at this location. This is me. Here are my Discord office hours. I host them right after class. Laylo, Uchu answered your question there. Yes, that is correct. So I host office hours right after class. It's kind of convenient, I think. Maybe not for you, but for me. I do take 15 minutes, to kind of go get some lunch, drink some water. But then I will be in Discord waiting for you. Now, we'll talk about the Discord in just a moment. If you are not using Discord, we can schedule a WebEx call, all right? So send me an email, and then I will join you on WebEx instead. Maybe I should update that, but I do think I have that in the syllabus here somewhere. Here's my email. You're always welcome to email me, though you will get a faster response on Discord, all right? I'm kind of always on Discord. That's just who I am, but you can email me if you want. We do have a TA. Her name's Angelica. She is in the Discord as well. I'll point her out in just a moment. And she's got all of these office hours for you guys. We've got Monday from not 1 I think that should say 6. All right. I'll make an edit there. That should say 6. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And Fridays 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. So she's got a ton of availability for you guys. Now, of course, if you can't make any of these office hours, there are tutoring options for you, and just send me a message, okay? I'll almost always respond. I will not always agree to do a voice call with you, but I am guaranteed to do a voice call and screen share session with you during these times, all right? If you are trying to get a hold of me outside of these office hours, I may respond to you, but likely I will not give you a Discord call. And her email is here. So hopefully that makes sense. Once again, let me know if you have any problems. Here's a textbook. This one's free online. I don't do anything from this thing, all right? If you're a textbook person, you can go find this one. It's an okay book. You can read it if you want. But everything will be coming from my notes in this class. And if you would like a better book, you can buy this one, all right? This is a good one. Though I'm sure many of you would prefer not to buy a textbook. Now, here are our topics. This is just kind of in order. And you can roughly expect 1 week per thing here, okay? That's just a rough estimate, all right? Sometimes I spend a lot of time answering questions in class, or an assignment might get pushed back or something. And so this is kind of just in a list so that I have this nice variability and I can change things up if I have to. All right, so this first week we're going over CS 135 review, and then we're going into all of this stuff. You'll notice that we've got 2 tests and a final exam. This is our final exam date, all right? This was designated by the university. Now, I'll talk about exams in just a second, but you can reference this for all of the subjects that we'll be covering. So now let's talk about assignments, and then we'll come back to exams. There's about 10 assignments, and assignments are worth 50% of your grade, all right? So you can't blow them off. In order to be great coders, we have to code. You understand? Hopefully. We are going to be coding in this class, and you will probably be coding more than you've done before. All right? I want you to be very aware of how that's going to happen. You are going to be coding a lot more than you've been doing before. There will be 10 assignments, and each assignment is roughly for these subjects. So one for the 135 review, one for this, one for this, one for that, so on and so forth. All right? Now, let's talk about grading. Each homework assignment will be worth the same amount of points, all right? Some will be harder than others. So if there's an easy assignment that pops up, might as well do it because you'll get the same amount of points. The final project will be worth a little bit more, and that's just because we're going to encompass everything into one project. All right, all assignments should be turned in on time. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just 1 second when we get to the code grade part of it. I should update this syllabus just to talk about it. As I said previously, you need to compile them on Sally or Bobby. And this part's very important. I will take every assignment from every CS202 student. All right, I think there's like 6 sections. I will take every single assignment and I will run it through this program called MOS. And this is a plagiarism detector. All right? So don't copy anybody's work. If you do that, I will find you and I will submit an academic misconduct report. It seems every semester someone gets caught up doing this. Please don't do that. As I said, I'm here to help you pass this class. If you are stuck on something, just send me a message, okay? I'm not like your other professors. I will almost always answer your questions. I promise I will never try to make you feel stupid. All right, I know that virtual learning is hard. I know that some things will go over your head. And so I promise you I won't make you feel bad about asking questions. Now, if you ask me about something that I did go over in class that day, I might link you to the notes instead. But my point being, just ask me a question. Don't resort to cheating, please, because I will find you. This MOS program is way smarter than I could ever be, and it does find you, even if you change your variable names, the spacing, add some comments, it will find you. It's very good at its job. And the academic misconduct department is familiar with MOS, so they will believe it, all right? Rat asks, would it be okay to ask you sometimes if we get stuck on troubleshooting? And so I'd say absolutely. You can ask me all the coding questions. I'll help you troubleshoot things. I'll help you understand things. I'm kind of an open book, okay? Now, I'm saying this just to be careful about it. You can't really expect this from many of your older professors when you get later into a computer science degree. Not trying to brag here, but I do think that you guys are very lucky to have me as an instructor. I know that sounds kind of arrogant, but seriously, I'll always answer your questions. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'll always answer your questions. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just skip this section and we'll talk about code grade. I'm going to make an update to this, but every program you type is going to be submitted through a program called code grade, all right? Now, I think you've probably used code grade in CS 135. Can I get a yes/no on that from you guys? Incognito asks, has Moss ever falsely detected plagiarism? My answer to that is I don't know. Not in my case. All right, I see some yes/nos. All right. Now, here's my personal opinion of code grade. I do not like it very much. And I know some of you might not like it too. But, to be fair, it is a good program. All right? It's not broken. It's good at what it does. It's just not perfect, right? Yeah, clang tidy, I'm sure you guys are going to hate. All right, so let's talk about code grade. I just started using it this summer in the sense that I'm required to use it by the department. All right, it is kind of a nice tool, and it will automatically grade your programs. Now, I will be making most of the code grades, all right? So, later today, I'll show you how to submit one through code grade, and I'll show you what it says about those programs. If you have any problems with code grade, just let me know. I know that this clang tidy thing is kind of a problem, and I'm still learning myself. So if clang tidy is marking you for something that you think is totally ridiculous, Synthos says magic numbers. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but you should not be using magic numbers, in my opinion. So, so in that case, I will say go fix that. But if clang tidy is telling you that your variable name is like incorrect or something, I'll try to go in there and fix that. All right. So we are using code grade, and you are required to submit your assignments to code grade. And that's how it's going to work. Now, Hama asks, will you be actually looking over the code aside from code grade? Now, my answer to you is yes. For one, it's going to go through Moss. And two, the main reason I do that is for one, to make sure you didn't hard code anything. Just like copy the output. I will skim through them. In addition to that, code grade works off of output matching. So basically, if your program's output doesn't match the solution, you're going to get marked a lot of points. Now, personally, I don't like that very much. And so if you cram something and then you turn it into code grade and it gets marked for 90% of the points, I will open your program and I will go through it and I will try to give you some partial credit for some functions that you got pretty close to. All right. So to answer your question, Hama, yes. And that's kind of a pro and con for both of you. So don't hard code your programs. But also, if code grade really docks you for something, I will do my best to salvage some points for you. Mail asks, I know we are supposed to comment our code, but are we supposed to have X% of comments? The one I'm running right now is a percentage of comments. I have lowered the comment percentage by 10%. It's kind of a small number. All right, that's kind of the easiest way I can check. So I think 15% of the lines are required to have comments. And I think previously it was 20 or 25%. If you have a real problem with it, send me your file, and I'll kind of judge whether or not that's enough comments. We should always be commenting our code. It's something we need to practice. I know many of you hate it, but I will do it every day in class. I'll show you how I comment things, and hopefully you'll get pretty good at it too. So later today, when we talk about the assignment, I will do a practice code grade submission just to show you guys. All right. So are there any other questions about how assignments will go? Please let me know. Of course, we can come back to it at a later date if we have to. One thing you're required to do is have this little header comment. This is just in case I lose you. I somehow lose your file. This will tell me what your name is. All right, so please have this header comment. Code grade does look for that. You're also required to have some amount of comments. That's what this talks about. And then program solution, most of the code is worth most of the points, pretty much. About 75% of the points come from your actual code. Chef, I'll answer that in just a moment when we do code grade. I'm just going to have you upload CPP files. Now we'll talk about exams just real quick. There are 3 total exams, 2 midterms, and 1 final exam. Now these are held during class time. All right, class time. So during this time. So instead of having class, you'll be taking a test. I use Lockdown browser. You're required to do that. I do not use webcams. All right, so it's just Lockdown browser. No webcams, no proctoring. And if you have a DRC request, please make sure you get those submitted. All right, I've had students before email me like the day before a test and say, I have a DRC request. And I say, I never received an email from them. So if you have a DRC request, please contact the DRC, which is the Disability Resource Center. There's some information later down in the syllabus about that. All right. Midterms are just a mix of everything. You'll do multiple choice questions, open response questions, small coding questions, and 1 big program question. This is something new that I'm doing because remote learning is hard. I have had a lot of students before who are barely on the cusp of passing this class, but I know that they worked very hard at it. So if I see you participating, this could be in any way, shape, or form. If I see you in the chat here, I see all your names, your lovely names, you're talking to me, I will remember who you are. I'm going to take notes on a little Excel sheet. If you didn't see my email, I asked you to go to that Drive file and put in your Twitch and Discord username. If you're ashamed of your username, which I totally understand, trust me, I've been there before, you can confidentially email me, okay? And I will keep track of you secretly. I promise I won't make fun of you. I totally understand. And you can gain this 2.5% extra credit overall grade if you are in at least 50% of my classes, in the sense I see you in the chat. If I see you messaging me questions on Discord or email, I'll remember who you are. Or if you're answering other people's questions in the Discord. Okay? So you have lots of opportunity to get a whole extra 2.5%. For a total of 102.5% in this class, if you did perfect on everything. All right. And think about it this way. If you're a computer science major, I'm not exactly sure how it works. I would check with your advisor. But if you're a computer science major, you need at least a C to pass this class. C- and D does not count. So if you get a 70%, and you are participating, I'll immediately push you up to that C range, all right? So just do your best. I'm here to help you. I I'm not going to really read this stuff. I'm just going to tell you about this student collaboration thing. You are allowed to ask each other questions. You are not allowed to share your code. All right? You're not allowed to share your code. You're not allowed to do screen shares. You can only answer questions in the form of English things. All right? You cannot give out solutions to other people. But like I said, you can kind of give them an idea of what they're supposed to be doing. Most of this student collaboration section is covered on Moss, meaning I will mark you on Moss if I figure out that you work together with somebody. All right, so Moss, for the most part, will take care of that. Here's all the university policies. I'm not super interested in reading those. Course communication. Let's talk about Discord. All right. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. The first thing is Discord, of course, is not required. Discord is not affiliated with the university, so I cannot make you use it. Now, this may be different from your previous classes or not. I'm just going to black you out for 1 second here. I have had an instance in the past, because I am a Discord user, where I showed a message that I didn't want to show the rest of the class. So I'm always super careful to make sure I get this stuff covered up here. All right, here we go. All right, so this is our Discord. All right. In here, you can message me. Who am I? I'm this guy here on the side in red. I have the red name. You can just click on me and message me. Unless you have some super special settings that won't let you message people that you share servers with. I understand that. And I may friend you for the semester, but I'll quickly unfriend you after the semester. Because I am your instructor, I am not your Discord friend. But you can always click on me and message me if you need. Here's Angelica. This is our TA. You're always allowed to message her. Well, I'm not sure about that. Check with her on that. But she will be participating in office hours, that's for sure. Now, Discord servers, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings. The first time I taught this class, we did a whole conjoined Discord server for all the sections. Has anyone participated in a Discord server like that yet? Where you had every single section in the same Discord? Okay. Yes, so there's one. Someone said it's a mess. I 100% agree with that. I did not like it at all. All right? Now, there's two reasons for that. One is it really does become a mess. It's hard to find things. And the second thing is assignments are shared across all sections. So all the instructors will be making their own assignments. And the assignments are reviewed by us. But in some sense, there's kind of a little bit of, there's a few differences between each assignment. I know that you may have experienced that before or not. But I'm extremely reasonable. And so it has been the case before that I'm presented with an assignment that I don't really like too much. And I may change it up. I may help you out in class with some functions. I may even change the assignment altogether. All right? And so if I ended up doing that, and then we're all in this big shared Discord, everyone starts asking questions about, that code was given and whatnot, and then it just becomes this huge mess, all right? So this is a private Discord for just us, all right? So Mail said that you kind of liked it. I totally understand. I didn't, so I hope that you'll be okay in just this tiny little Discord. It does feel like there's a sense of community for sure, but this is just what we're gonna do, okay? So this is our own private Discord, and that's how we're gonna leave it. Keeps things pretty manageable, and I can change things if I need to. We're going to have 2 text channels. Here's the announcements. Anything that I post in the announcements will also go out on Web Campus announcements. So if you don't have Discord, you'll still see them on Web Campus. Class discussion, this is for you guys. If you have a question, chances are someone else might have the same question. Go ahead, post it here. Someone may answer it for you, or I may answer it, or Angelica may answer it. All right? You are never allowed to post your code. I will be watching like a hawk. If I see someone post their code, I will delete it immediately. You can only ask questions in English. So Mail says, I liked how you could use different TAs from different classes at any time. That is true. But don't worry. I have nothing to do. Well, I have plenty to do as a graduate student. But given our whole COVID thing, I'm always at home. So whenever I receive a Discord message, most of the time I'm available to answer it anyway. Yang asks, how about just a few lines of code? If it works, no. If it's broken, sure. If you're getting an error, go ahead and screenshot that error. I'm fine with it. But it cannot be like a complete function. If that line of code works, say if here's what I'll say. If you ever come to that, please ask me first. All right. For the most part, I would prefer you not post any lines of code. There are a few exceptions to that. So I would rather you just check with me, and then I'll allow you to post that if you'd like. All right. Are you okay with that? Is that reasonable? I'm just trying to keep the amount of student conduct in the lines, Thank you. And then lastly, office hours. Whenever I'm in office hours, I'll be hanging out here. You see me here in the chat. Now, if you just have a question, you can pop in here. Excuse me. You can just pop in here and ask me that question, and I'll be able to hear you. If you want to do a screen share session, I will likely do a private call with you. And that's because I don't want anyone hopping in and writing down your code. All right? So if it's during office hours times, I'm not in here. Just send me a message to let me know that you're in the line, you're in queue. Or you can even come in here and say, you know what? I'm in the line. And once I'm out of that private call, I will call on you next, all right? So just look for me in here. If I'm in here, I'm available. And if I'm not, I'm helping somebody else. But just let me know so I can get to you next. So that's the Discord. If you have any questions about that, please let me know. And all this stuff here about Discord, please read this if you'd like. This kind of just talks about what I expect of you in the Discord. Here's the link. If you didn't get in, you might be able to click on this still. If you didn't get in and this link stopped working for whatever reason, send me an email and I'll get you a link. Is everyone in the chat, in the Discord? Is there someone who would like a link right now? And then lastly, the public health directives. We're probably not going to be doing in-person class. I'm sorry to those who wanted to do that, but we're not doing that this semester. So I'm not really going to spend some time on this. But you're allowed to go look at the UNLV COVID policies if you'd like. So that covers up our syllabus. Today I'm going to edit this section just to talk about code grade, okay? Just to talk about code grade. I'll edit that, but pretty soon and I'm going to edit this as well, all right? So I'll make a few syllabus edits today. Just a moment. But we're moving on from that, okay? We've only got about 20 minutes left here in class, so I don't know how much C++ we'll get to. But we're going to move on to what you should know in the assignment. All right, so there's just a few things I expect you to be familiar with. And like I said, we'll review them maybe a little bit today, but mostly on Thursday. And I just want you guys all to know that there is a deadline for assignment 1. I'm completely understanding of how things go sometimes. and there's nothing really that may stop me from pushing an assignment back. All right, so we'll reevaluate on Thursday to see how we're feeling. Feel free to look at it and get started now if you want. But I always like to take a little vote from the class to see how we're feeling on an assignment, and I may always give an extra day or so. So I just don't want anyone to be worried about that, especially if we don't start our 135 review today. So C++ things I expect you to know. I'm doing some weird SpongeBob text here. You need to know how to import some libraries. All right, now this means importing libraries you're allowed to import. All right, so if I ask you to sort something, importing algorithm and calling sort, I'm not okay with. But if I say you're allowed to include string, or you're allowed to include fstream or something like that, you need to know how to do that. Please tell me or stop me if you need me to talk about something. You need to know how to do the namespace thing, unless you want to be putting the std in front of every single thing that you type. You need to know how to make int main. I expect you to know how to see out and cn things. I expect you to know how to declare variables. I expect you to know the different data types. This includes ints, floats, doubles, chars, strings, bool, and even a struct, which I'll be getting to at the end anyway. All right. I expect you to know some things about functions, how to declare them, how to call, I also expect you to know this one. What is this? Can anyone tell me what this means? What's passed by value? And what's passed by reference? I'm going to find a fun little image for you guys. You may have seen it before. It gets passed around the CS department a little bit. Let's see here. Here we go. You don't remember, honestly? That's fine. We'll get to a review. We'll get to a review on that. Right. So, Yang, you're right. If we pass something by value, it makes a copy. And if you pass a reference, it passes the original. So it doesn't make a copy. It passes the original variable. Oh, okay. Pass by reference does use the and symbol. We'll do an example of that. Let's see here. Chef says, given a value param to the function that it can't change. Yep. And reference params can be modified. That's exactly right. So I'll kind of upload this little picture today. Whenever I open pictures, I find that Internet Explorer is the best thing for that. Have you guys ever heard that before? Internet Explorer is good at something. I've never known it to be good for something, but I'll show you one thing it is good for. I just need to get it to load here. It's trying to take me to Microsoft. Yeah, it opens GIFs. That's exactly right. It's good for downloading Chrome. Yeah, exactly. All of that stuff. I might have to start using Edge too. But whenever I want to open a picture, I kind of just pass it to here. Look at how fast that was. It's amazing how fast it opens those. And then the one that's provided with Windows, it takes years to open. All right, so here's my little picture. So I'll upload this today. So just pretend that we've got a little function here called fill cup. And so if we're going to pass a cup by value, notice that it makes a copy. And if we fill it up, we're only going to fill up the copy cup. The original one still stays empty. All right. But if we do a pass by reference, notice we're going to pass the actual reference to that cup. So in the sense that when we fill it, the other one will also be filled. So like I said, we'll spend some more time on that. We end up using this a lot this semester. So it's good that you know what this means. And let me know if I need to spend any more time on that. How to declare, how to call. Probably talk about return types as well. All right. And if else, you need to know what those are. You need to know how to do while and for loops. You need to know what a struct is. And that's pretty much it. All right, that's pretty much it. Is there anything on here that you don't remember learning about? You should have at least retained some memory of these things. I understand if things like this didn't quite make it all the way over. Structs, I would expect to be a little confusing, so we'll definitely spend some time on that. We'll definitely spend some time on structs. I'm pretty sure those came at the end of the semester for you guys, so I totally understand that that might be an issue. But that's pretty much all you're going to need to know, and we will be reviewing all of these things briefly in an example, probably not today, but starting on Thursday. As of right now, I'm going to introduce the assignment to you. Now, there's a few things I need to talk about assignments. To begin, assignments, some of the PDFs will be very large, and I'll talk about why that is. The first reason is because they're very descriptive. I know a lot of us do not like to read sometimes, but some of the PDFs might look very large. Please just do your best to read them. They're probably going to be, I don't know, were your CS135 PDFs pretty big? If you think about it, we're kind of engineers in this class. This is like an instruction manual for building a program. So there's almost no way that we can condense these assignments into just like little one-pagers. All right? So here's the assignment 1 PDF. Now there's quite a few pages. It looks like only the first 4 or 5, maybe more than that. The first like 6 pages or so talk about the assignment, and then the rest of it is the sample output. There's a bunch of sample output here. Now, I will always upload the sample output. Thanks for reminding me. Let me do that real quick. Let me go find those. Yeah, to be honest, I would say you're lucky that they're long. So we've had some complaints before, and I'll always do my best to condense them as much as I can. But you should be grateful that they're descriptive. Because in some sense, some of the assignments will just tell you exactly what you need to do. So you just kind of have to read it and go step by step, all right? So this assignment 1 is here. I'm not really going to read it, but I will talk about what you're doing. All right, I'll always upload the sample outputs. What this assignment talks about is unigrams and bigrams. Now, this is a computer science research thing. It's about natural language processing. So a unigram is just an individual word. It's just one word. And a bigram is a set of words. A bigram, the BI stands for 2, right? A trigram would be 3. A quadgram, I guess, would be 4. So a bigram is 2. So any combination of 2 words, all right? So unigrams are just 1 word, and bigrams are just 2 words. And so pretty much what you're going to do, all you're going to do, it's actually pretty simple. Maybe implementing it, not so much. But you're going to open this big text file. Let me go ahead and pull it open on VS Code here. This is a book, all right? I'm pretty sure this is a book. The Time Machine by Gutenberg. So this is a big text file. You're going to open up this text file, and you're going to find every unigram, and you're going to find every bigram. And pretty much you're going to count the number of each unigram and each number of bigram. So there's a few things you're going to have to do. Now, the example that we'll do on Thursday will be very similar to this assignment. So a lot of the stuff you'll do in this assignment, I'm going to help you with on Thursday. But you're going to have to convert each word to be lowercase. You're going to have to remove punctuation like commas. So I'm going to run this program for you. And like I said, you're welcome to read this. There are a few resources for you. I'm just kind of pressed a little bit on time here. So I'm just going to run it for you. There is a video available. Let me find it here. Dr. Fonseca made a video for you. Here it is. So if you want to go watch what Dr. Fonseca has to say about this assignment, you can go watch that video. All right. But we're going to do some test runs, and I'm going to show you how to submit it on CodeGrade, and that's going to be it for us today. All right. So please, if you've got any questions that you need to ask me, please start typing those out or thinking about them while we're wrapping up today's class. So here I am on Bobby. Uchu asks any quick tips on passing this class. Talk to me. Ask me questions. That's what I'd say. Now, I don't want to badmouth or judge anybody, but these past few semesters, CS 202 particularly, and CS 135, the university is really working on making these classes good and standardized. So we've kind of been working a lot on that, and I know that these past semesters there have been some interesting instructors. And like I said, I don't want to be arrogant, but I think you're lucky to be taking this class with me, and if you would like to pass, please message me. Ask me questions, all right? I do want you to think for yourself. If you get stuck on something, take a few minutes, maybe a little bit more than that to try to do it. But if you're really banging your head against the desk, talk to me, all right? Fuzzy Cupid asks, will CodeGrade tell us any mistakes? Yes, it will. I don't know if it will tell you exactly how to fix them, but it will. Yeah, you can just resubmit. So I'll get to that part. Let me just kind of speed run this real quick. So here I am on Bobby. I'm going to upload my solution file. I'm also going to upload the input file. Now I have to wait for Bobby here to contemplate life a little bit. But once it decides that it's ready to bring these files onto the server, I can go ahead and compile it. So what's our compile statement? It's g++-std is equal to c++11. And then we're going to type in our ast01.cpp. All right, so there you go. So once I compile this, I'm not in the right directory. So let me change my directory. Let me try it again. And everything compiled, right? No errors. And so when I'm ready to run it, what do I type? /a.out. I'll have to put that in our notes. I kind of forgot that. And then I have to provide this Gutenberg dash, I gotta spell it right, dash the dash time dash machine dot txt. It'll open it, and it will say, would you like to generate a log file? The log file keeps track of every word that you changed. So if you removed a punctuation, or if you replaced a number in that word, the log will keep track of it. So you can type yes, and this is going to run for just a second. All right, it's generating this log, and the log just keeps track, like I said, of everything that you changed. So if I open it, you'll see that machine here became machine, H became H, whatsoever period became whatsoever. This is what the log does. All right, so that's what's happening right now. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to show you the code grade. So I'm going to become a student. Now I'm a student. And now I can go and click on this big button here. Okay? Hey, you're making me smile. I think you'll like me. I hope so. I'll always do my best, I promise. Don't be terrified. Don't be terrified. You'll catch on real fast, I promise. So here's code grade. All right, you'll be presented with this screen. If you click upload files, you'll see that AST01.cpp is the only file that I will let you upload. So you'll upload it, and then you click submit, and then here's the auto test. All right, so the first thing it's going to look for is, do you have the header comment? And then it's going to check to see, do you have comments? And then it's going to check your program with the valid input, so it's going to run it a few times. And then it's going to check your program with some invalid input. And then it's going to do this clang tidy thing, all right? And in each section, it will tell you where you lost points. You just kind of click the drop down. It will tell you what's wrong. In this part, it will tell you what the expected output is and what the difference between your program and the expected program is. So you can see what's wrong. If you misspelled something, it will tell you that. So that's kind of how the code grade works, all right? We'll spend some more time on this later when we have more time. Notice that I've passed the header check here. I got a 1 out of 1. I passed the comment check here, 15% comments. Now this is going to take a while because it's a big program, so we'll come back here. We're just wrapping up here real quick. So what did it do? It found the longest word. And now you have some options. You can search for a unigram. So I'll type unigram, and I can search for maybe Gutenberg. And it will tell me that it found Gutenberg at index 149, meaning it's the 149th word in the array. And it's in this text 31 times. I can search for a bigram, like this is. And it found this is at index 18,000, and it's in this entire document twice. I can choose to save every unigram and bigram by typing save, and it will save these log files. They're not log files, but we'll save these files here where you can open them, and you can see here we've got that's the log here. Let me see. You can see every unigram and how many times it's in the text. So it just kind of saves the array to a file. Lastly, you can find the index of something. Say, tell me what unigram is at index 12. And it will tell you that I found me, M-E. And lastly, you can quit the program. All right. So that's kind of my brief summary of that. We're out of time now. We're out of time. Chef says, are we going to have to use enums for this assignment? In my implementation, no. Actually, in this class, we will not really learn about enumerators. That's more of a Python thing. You do not have to use enums. You can if you want, because it's your own solution. So I won't mark you if you do. But if you don't know what those are, don't use them. And you can see here CodeGrade's doing its thing. All right, so that's all I have for class today. So before next class, maybe take a look at the assignment if you have time. Maybe get started if you want. On Thursday, we'll start off running with our CS 135 review. And that's that. I hope the start of the semester has been good for you. I hope you're excited for this class. And I hope to see you guys next time. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for coming. I'll hang out for just a few minutes for any questions, but you're free to go. And I will be in office hours at 1 p.m. if you want to come say hi. You're welcome, Top Wolf. You're welcome, Uchu. You're welcome, Incognito. You're welcome, Yang. CS202 student, you're welcome. Synthos, you're welcome. Sig, you're welcome. Chef, you're welcome. Pig, you're welcome. YCS, you're welcome. Nicholas, you're welcome. Hamma, you're welcome. Fuzzy, you have a great day as well. Durgan, you're welcome. And Giovanni, thank you. Thank you for that. Have a great day, guys. J-Man, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming today. All right. I'll give you guys a few more seconds if you've got a question, and I'm going to end the stream.